Hi everyone, I'm Derrick Whiteskycloud. I'm a psychic medium and paranormal investigator, and I actually have a crew I work with called Haunted Crew of Canada. And we're a paranormal team. We've been traveling around BC. So what I decided to do is I asked our crew if I can actually create a demonstration and to do a demonstration of my mediumship in at the First Nights of Spiritualist Church here in Burnaby, BC. And when I decided to start doing it, I can just say I sort of like shocked a few people, but I actually enjoyed this, and I hope you guys enjoy this too. So take care.
So how many of you actually experienced mediumship before? Raise your hands. Okay, those who have not, raise your hands. Okay, a couple of people. Well, I guess you guys are the first victims. Okay. What happens with me is that when I start to see them more, when I talk to them, there's people start to come forward. It's almost like as if how do you explain this part? People come up from behind you that are in spirit, and they introduce themselves. So they stand there behind your chair, or they stand behind you, and they show themselves. So then I'm actually looking at them. I'm actually giving you details of what they would look like. Now, in the spirit world, sometimes they go back to 30 years of age if they're an elder. So once in a while, I have to get them to say, "Well, show me what you used to look like before you're young now." But then sometimes they don't like to stay there at that age, because they prefer to be young. So a lot of people in the spirit world, they have an opportunity to go back to who they choose to be. And being younger, sometimes they'll change their hair color, not facial features, but just to feel more virile, more younger, just to be as who they are. Okay. Now, okay, here we go. Guys, where are you going? Watching coming in. It's kind of cool. I get seeing arrows. The arrows are shooting down at this person here, so I've got to get between the three of you here. Okay. It's like X marks the spot. Like I want to look at you three in this area here. There's, what's your name, sir? Your first name?
What?
Yes.
Dick Ron.
Okay. I want to say this to you. There's a man who's passed away, elderly fellow, your father's side, here right now for you. Okay. Have your dad passed?
Yes.
Okay. Your dad is here. I've been wanting to talk to you. Now, the thing is that he shows me either him in a large truck, but it's seeing him in a large vehicle. Do you understand? Do you understand the big truck with your father? Traveling?
Yeah.
Okay. The big truck. What did your dad do for a living?
He was a parts manager for Chrysler.
Okay. Did he drive a big truck?
At times, yes.
Delivery? Okay. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's how they show themselves as being in specifics. Okay. Your dad is here, wants to say hello to you. Now, the thing is that he's also bringing forward a female. So this is either got to be your mom, because he shows me a female next to him. He's also got she's bringing in either her sister or your sister, because she looks younger than she is. Do you understand? Okay. And she's bringing, these three are coming in for you. And they want to let you know that they are fine. Okay. And you keep talking about wanting to change business, like you're wanting to change and shift. You keep on hesitating in relationships. You keep changing your mind. You keep on worrying about things that are not going to work for you. Do you understand? Okay? Stop worrying about those things. Start following your guidance of what you can do, and to trust your path, because you have a tendency of, when things get too good, you sabotage it. You back up and go like, I'm not sure. Okay? You got to go through it. You got to go through experience. This is not your child anymore. Your father's telling me to tell you that he's apologizing for being such a harsh man to you when you were a boy. He wants to apologize for being so harsh to you. And he wants to say that he's actually wanting to help you from the other side, but you keep on pushing your dad away. You understand? Okay, so he's trying to help you from the other side. Your dad's not stuck. He's already crossed over into the light. He's happy where he is, but you need to let it go. Okay, don't be angry with him. Okay, he's apologizing for, I guess, whatever happened in the past between both him and you was never resolved, and it's something that you need to work through to let go. You understand? Okay, because he wants to be better from where he's at, and he wants to help you. That helps him understand the things that he did wrong when he was younger. He's not talking about the age of older. He's talking about the age of younger. Okay. They're yelling out your birthday. So when's your month, your birthday?
Month?
Yeah, when's your month?
April.
April? Okay. They're also talking about, did your father pass around the month of April?
May.
Okay, April and May. Okay, so it wasn't too far from your birthday then. Okay. Okay. All he's focusing on right now is making sure that you trust the path you take. Okay? And right now, you're exploring something new that you've never experienced before. And it's probably the spiritual path of all what's going on even in this room. And for you, it's an experience in itself because it shows me you're just getting started, getting involved in this more than you were before. I don't see you really interested in, say, 5 years ago. That's something you just worked yourself into. Do you understand? Okay, it's been a long time since I've been here, so I don't know everybody. So all I want to say is that your experience now has made you a better person. This has helped you become more livelier, more open. Okay, and but you also got to trust yourself to stop worrying about how things are going to work for you. Does that make sense? Okay, let me leave that with you. By the way, your dad says he'll be talking to you in your dreams. So I get kicked of people that phone me back the next day. By the way, my dad came to see me. Good. At least he didn't hang up on me. Okay. Interesting, between both you two, I'm seeing a restaurant. So which one actually was in the restaurant business?
Up here?
No, there's right behind you. Who was involved? This shows me somebody's actually talking about building a business or like a restaurant or like a Brown's house, that sort of thing. Who talked about it?
Building a restaurant?
Yeah.
I did like a few years back.
Okay. You talked about this?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not off because there's a person actually in spirit. Your grandmother's here, and she heard you talk about it, and she's wondering why you didn't do it.
I don't know.
Because she's all excited. She thought you were going to go through with it, that you were going to make this restaurant.
Just looking for the right place, I guess, and then I just kind of.
You just gave up and you just back with it.
Yeah.
Okay. She's let me know to tell you that if you ever decide to do this again or carry on to do this, make it into a cafe. Make it something simple, small. But make it something that you, the way she showed me, because you are in between 3 different kinds of jobs. It shows me 3 separations of ideas that you haven't completed yet. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you're sporadically shooting out here and here and here.
Mm-hmm.
So what you need to work on doing now, she's actually showing me to tell you that you, instead of offshooting everything, she's also showing me here that you're going to be opening another business. But it shows me that you're going to go to, you're talking about getting more involved in more like a spiritual center, but it still has coffee tea. There's something here that you're getting.
That's exactly what I was thinking about before, remember? I did say that if you ever go
Okay,
to the tea.
so it's all going to have, she says basically it's going to be a spiritual center. It's going to have coffee tea, nothing too big, but make it where you're drawing the public there.
Mm-hmm.
She says, don't make it internet stuff. She says, make it simple.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't have a whole bunch of people coming in, they got to play their phones and the whole nine yards. You can make plugins, that's fine. But she said, don't make it where everybody has a little computer center and all that, just because you lose the focus. Your focus is to make it into more of a healing center. So she's basically showing me here that it's going to be very receptive and very, it's very enlightening because I can hear the music. And the music is, I can hear harps. I'm hearing a variety of music. So it's sort of an angelic feeling. But you're going to have gifts and giftware and that sort of thing. So it's going to be, but it shows me a small little, say the church is a store. I see half of it, your grandmother shows me, she says, she's doing this. This is kind of funny. Your grandmother's playing there as if she's in a game show. Yeah. This side here, a beautiful room here, it's going to be all the gifts that you give away, that you'll be selling. And then she's on this side, a little cafe, coffee, tea, da-da-da. Okay? And she's talking about mushrooms. Sexy mushrooms. Kombucha.
Kombucha.
Yeah. Bottle your own kombucha. This is what's going to make you famous.
Okay.
Okay. She's bringing this up. She shows me here. So this is where it can become really busy. You understand? Mm-hmm. Okay. She's actually saying to me to tell you that she loves her very much. You inspire the family. You don't realize how much you inspire the family a lot. Don't worry about mom.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
You've had falling out with mom right now. It shows me here a little bit of separation between each other. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Don't worry about her. It'll all work itself out. And your mom's or your grandmother's saying it's almost like I hate to say this, your mom's being a little bit miserable. I don't know what's on her mind, but she's actually like not in a negative way. She's just angry.
Yeah.
She's not angry at you. It's about other people around her. Mm-hmm. But you're getting hit with it. Mm-hmm. It's bouncing off you. You're taking because the reason why you're absorbing it, you're like a sponge. It's like, yeah, okay, mom, I'll try and see if I can help you. Next thing you know, you go home, you're dealing with emotional crap. You don't need it. Mm-hmm. You understand? Yeah. Just let it bounce off of you. That's where your healing center comes in. You're going to end up showing people how to deal with the healing and to absorb it, let it go through you. Okay? This is most problems, most situations people always do. How many dogs have actually met people and you're shaking their hands and all of a sudden you go like, oh, I feel great dog. Whoa, I don't feel right. Okay? Or I feel really excited about that person. Oh, I need to get to know them more. Okay? Those are energies that it's not vampirism. Now, people think it's energy vampirism. It's not. It's actually it's a person's feelings and emotions that they just drop on you and you absorb it because you are become that sponge. You're a healer. And you're wanting to help people, so you become the sponge. And you're okay, I'm going to help these people, but you put your hand out there, accept it, all of a sudden you're just getting help. Oh, I feel like crap. Or you feel like somewhat lethargic. You feel kind of like, oh man, what's going on here? After you leave, because they're walking and going, oh, I feel really good, see ya. You get dumped. Okay? This is a word of warning for all of you. If you actually want to learn something, don't get soaked in someone else's sponge, no matter where you are. Even in the church, people have their ups and downs, right? Let it bounce off of you. It's not your stuff. Yeah. If you want to say it, you say it out loud. Not my stuff. Spread your fingers. Let it go. Clear it up. You don't need it. I've got caught a few times. Even as a person like myself, I get caught off guard. I forget myself because I work at another radio station. I work at CFRO down in Vancouver. And this place is basically haunted. And one of my really good friends actually renovated the place. So we got our radio station moved from one location to the other. We're off of Columbia in Hastings. And being at CFRO, so I go to work, I walk in the building, and I have to sign myself in, but I'm walking around like, holy crap. It feels really weird. So I have to create my own little protection of light, so to speak, because it's haunted. You're absorbing everybody off the street that are street people that are living on the street. Mm-hmm. So their survival energies outside the building and surrounding around you, so you have to work yourself around them. Keep on sending them maternal love, for them, because they need to live too. Just send out that love to them, makes them feel more comfortable. But the thing is that I have to learn, but when I'm in that studio, I'm fine. I walk in the studio, I'm great. But just walking in, going out, everyone has their day. Right? We all have our ups and downs. We're only human. So, from this for you, trust your guidance.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. I have a computer there. The purple. Which first name?
Shannon.
Shannon? I've got two people, one major male, one standing behind you right now. He's just a big guy. Okay? Either he's dad or granddad, one of the two, but he's right behind you big time. And he's got it's almost like he's trying to calm you down because I'm seeing his hands on your shoulder. It's okay, don't worry, things are fine. So, have you been worrying about your dad or your family or like a male? Have you been worried about your father a lot?
I think about him a lot.
Yeah. Not because he passed away?
Yes.
Okay. But have you worried about it?
No.
Okay. Because why is he showing me he's calming you down? Like he's a mess.
I don't know.
Okay. Who's William or Will?
Pardon me?
Who's William? Will.
William.
Yeah. William Will. Are you with her?
Who are friends?
Okay, that's fine. Keep that.
No.
Okay. William does not mean always a relative. It could also be someone who's part of the family or actually is connected to you. Okay? Most likely, the William is actually the person who's a guide. But your dad keeps on saying, well, Will. The number one is Will. And then he says William. So, but your father wants to let you know that he's actually around you all the time. And he talks about separation. Do you understand? Okay. Now, either separation was in a relationship or separation between your dad and you. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Was it between your dad or was it between you in a relationship? Because your dad remembers you in a separation before he passed.
Before he passed.
Yeah.
I understand separation, yeah.
You went through a separation before your dad passed.
Well, not like a marriage separation or anything like that, but just separation, yeah.
With your dad or someone else?
And my brother.
Your brother. Okay, that's the separation.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your brother's first name?
Brad.
Can I ask you what's going on with Brad? He's basically saying that Brad is this is coming from your father's side. He says Brad's being the word hard ass. Like he's trying to play the hard, like the tough guy who wants to be like, I'm dealing with the world and I can't handle this.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's something that he had to deal with before your dad passed away. This shows me here that he was dealing with personal issues of his own long before. It shows me either a breakup in a relationship, but he's been that way ever since.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, how you're involved in it is because as much as you're trying to help your brother, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? He's got to get out of his own stuff. Okay? And the thing is that your dad's saying, for you, don't feel guilty for what you could not do for your brother. It'll work itself out eventually through the years. In time, your brother will come around and realize after of all this, whatever it became, was a total misunderstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But he's got to apologize to you. This is coming from your dad. Okay? We won't get the details. Just basically saying, this is what he's pointing out. Now, your father is also wanting to tell you that whatever you happened between both you and your dad, something had to work itself out before you crossed over. He still feels that there's something missing that you and him never resolved.
That I resolved?
That you and him never resolved,
Oh.
between both him and you. But it's not in hate, it's not in anger, it's something there that, well, maybe get you just missing. But there's something there about your dad that was never smooth. Okay? And it could be, I wish I could say it. Sometimes some things can sound personal, so I try not to get too deep. I try to be very tender with this. Okay? Your dad could not give you everything or for everyone. But it feels to me that he feels that he's been given as much as he possibly can for you. But he thinks he believes he could have done more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, the cool part of it is that he's trying to reach out to you and help you more and more and more. Okay? And did you do a tattoo of your father?
No.
Have you talked about it?
No.
You're not going to do it.
Not
Good.
to dad, no.
No. Your dad won't. He said don't do it. He doesn't care too much for tattoos.
No.
That's what he said. So, yeah. But he sends you lots of roses, by the way. Spirit.
He says what?
Roses.
Oh, okay.
You know what roses mean?
No.
Love. Okay, it's like the one says you got a bouquet of roses, it's for you.
Yeah.
And most likely what's going to happen when your dad sends you roses, expect to smell roses, the essence of roses in your house. At times, that means that your father's presence will be roses. Okay. Somebody here always had their father that's passed away smoked cigars a lot. Who was that? Did your dad smoke cigars a lot?
My dad did, yeah.
Okay, he's going to use cigars too to get your attention. If you can't use roses, he'll use cigars.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, my dear. How are we doing so far?
Very good.
Okay, I've got someone here uses the name England. They're making me feel like I have to. There's a name of their place or the name of the person that has actually the name of England in their family.
I'm going to England this year.
We're not done with it yet. Okay.
That's funny.
This is what happens. Sometimes he won't give me up. I'll give you up. Enjoy the trip. Okay. Now can I separate? Thank you. He's gonna he'll keep an eye on you when you travel, by the way.
Good.
So, oh, by the way, when you are staying in England, he's making sure that he'll protect you so you don't get bugged by other ghosts.
Okay.
Because like England is one of the oldest countries in Europe that their ghosting lasted since the 1200s, 1400s. So every time they build new houses on the land, there's more of that time period reactivity of new people that are ghosting. I call them ghosting. They're ghosting around. They pay little visits. So, and just say, Dad, are you here? And he'll give you a knock on the wall. Now that's called, and basically it'll sound like this. Your dad will do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever had it knocking on your walls before? Anybody here?
Oh, yeah.
Knocking on ceilings?
Yeah.
Knock 3 times on the ceiling if you're looking. Where I am from, Manitoba, when we do our seances, a lot of times we would have knocking on the walls or knocking on the ceiling. And that's the fun part because you're communicating with them that way. You seldom ever hear it here. For some reason, I don't know why. It doesn't happen very often here. but in Manitoba it's very prominent because the practice of spiritualism and the practice of psychic mediumship connection there is very, very continuous. Like it's always active all the time. And when I did a seance, I had 8 ladies join me at a seance. And the fun part was we were getting knocking on the walls, and there was one skeptic in the room, and he wanted to prove that somebody outside was actually knocking on the wall. I said, okay, go outside. And these ladies lived in an apartment. Outside the walls is concrete. Now you tell me how well you can hear it on the inside as if you're talking, like as if you're knocking on the door. Like that. And yet, up above, the next thing you know, if it is on the walls, you're hearing that on the ceiling. Constantly, it'll keep on knocking to the point until you finally acknowledge them. And then people are saying, oh, well, maybe there's people upstairs dancing and walking around. This is don't even be upstairs. Because you're on the 8th floor, the top floor. How can anybody be on the roof dancing? Right? That's exactly what they do. So if you ever try to communicate, or have tried to communicate with someone actually knocking on the walls, talk to them. Because they will use the ABCs. Use your ABCs to find out who they are by name. Okay? The yeses and nos, knock once or twice. We've done it before. It works out pretty good. It's a lot of fun to do. I've got a woman here for you. We never talked about that before. Your grandmother's here. And she's adamant. Oh man, I wish I could speak. I'm hearing it. She just basically says she loves you very much. And she said she's with you here. She's not, she's buried in your country, Hungary. But she says that she's with you all the time. You don't have to go home to be with them. They're already here. She's excited that you're wanting to learn what I do. Because your grandmother was gifted as well. But she could not use it as prominent before because they would have called her a gypsy. But she had a skill. And this is on your mom's side. She had a skill. That she would use the water. She tells me the water, like she goes like a bowl of water. And she would read the water. And they would call it scrying. Not crying, scrying. And she would read the water and she'd tell people's future through the water. So I've got a funny feeling that if your grandmother did that, you may be able to do that yourself. Now, it won't work in the shower. But it works with a bowl and water. Everybody will have a certain gift to use. So your grandmother's really excited to actually work with you more. Trust her help because she wants to help you. And she says she loves you very much. Okay? As soon as I talk to you, I got people here talking to you. They were telling me here right now you had a messed up childhood, but you learned to grow very quick, and you learned to find something about yourself that you had to find the truism of you, the reality of you. Your granddad said that when you were young, you were a jerk. But you were just trying to find a part of you that was. You weren't a bully. You were just angry with the world. You were angry. You're upset with people. And he's saying that someone turned you around. Whatever inspired you out of these books, you changed. You became someone that is reborn, so to speak. And You do the complete 360. You also have near-death experience. And after that, that's how it changed. Whether it's through a car accident, that sort of thing, because somehow you changed. You were not the person you once were.
It's true.
Okay. I'm trying to stay straight and try to keep away from the extraterrestrials, but they keep on pushing me, so I gotta let them go through you. You've got so many extraterrestrial people around you. Man, you are alienated. Literally. There's a difference between alienated and alienated. He's got them all around him. There was an incident that took place that you thought for sure that you would have lost your license. They intervened for a reason. And not because it's just me. Because you showed interest in something, in a project that took place in Egypt. Whatever happened, whatever you picked up, whatever you learned from it, drew those people from the spirit world to follow you around. And so they're protecting you. And you have so many Egyptian people in the spirit world with you as well. So you got 20 different people. And these aren't angels. These are just people who want to talk to you. They want to work with you. They want to... some of them, they're actually saying right now that they were jerks. They were not so nice people when they were alive. So, sometimes you look at them, maybe they could be a hero or some sort. It could be help. Maybe they had a really good life, but not everyone did. And yet people are trying to believe what a researcher has said, thinking, oh, well, these are people, and they were really nice people, and they suffered, they survived, and did this and did that. There was a lot of misleading, they're saying, let me tell you, a lot of misleading of what really went on. Again, governments, or they created governments, and a lot of misleadings, and also they said seriousness of assassinations. A lot of assassinations and jealousy. So, and it wasn't through people that are higher up. It was lower jealousy within the kingdoms of itself. So, whatever generation it was, it actually could be the priests. It could be someone that was. There's always someone who actually has a position that was jealous of those people. Now, how do I put this part in? They were saying that you were there. So you're part of that time as well. You observed so many things. You were always someone's student, but you never were the teacher. That's why you're absorbing yourself so much into books that relates to whether it's Egypt or whether it's ETs, whether it's history. But you're always looking for someone. Your work is always that relates to. You're trying to find factual truth. And a lot of people say truth hurts. And yet some people in certain business organizations don't like to hear the truth. And yet you are still slightly bringing it to the surface. But in a very sincere way, not in the abrupt way. Okay. And your grandfather is saying that he's going to try and help you. He can't figure out how to help you. He's going to try and help you because you're too smart for him. But he's there specifically for support. So, and also he's saying that when you become a teacher and what you do, your life experience is going to change again. But it's going to be you're going to have to start writing your books. And I'm saying books, plurally. So it's going to be a lot of, how to say this part, you may think, what they're saying to me, you may think that others have actually read the book or heard the story or have already, you may think they already know what others may have said in the past, whether it's in their writings or in their meetings of verbal conversations, but you have to revise and add in what you are training. So there's so many, because you'll end up rewriting history. You're going to end up, it's going to rewrite. You're going to end up rewriting history because you're going to find more factual stories to it. So whatever it is you're going to be involved in, I hope that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense.
Okay. It's going to change you, your life, even more. You may feel sometimes you don't have the time even to work for someone, say in a business. You end up being so independent, you're earning a living just doing all of those hands on. So whatever you're doing, just keep on going. But it's going to change your life completely.
Thank you.
Okay. Your grandmother's also here. Now, was there a Marie or Mary in your family?
It's on my sister.
Your sister?
Yeah. Our sister's name is
Mary? Okay. Now, she's still living, isn't she? Okay. Had she talked about coming here, or she's living here now?
No, she wants to be.
She wants to be here. Tell her to come. She's supposed to be here. Because your grandmother says, get her to come here. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Energy's getting really heavy. I feel it's getting, the more I'm working, the more active it gets. So that gets really, really heavy. So I like it. I have more, that means I can get out there more quicker. Okay. Okay. I'm going to come to you, my dear, in the red burgundy hair. Okay. I don't see elderly people, but I see a young man that's passed away. And he shows me behind the wheel that he crashed. Okay? He says he knows you. Okay? Not related to you, but he says he knows you. It's either Robert or Robbie. Who's he to you? He's right behind you. And I know it's not for her, because I can see he's right behind you.
I can't think of anyone.
Okay. Why I'm seeing him, he's following you around. Now, knowingly, if he's following you around, that means that you're trying to research part of your personal life to find out where you're going to go from here. You understand? So, this is going to happen. What do you do for work?
I work with animals.
You work with animals? So you're going to be an animal psychic?
I haven't thought about that.
I think you seriously consider it. That's why this young man's actually following you. So I would say I'd look at the idea of taking courses. Now, being an animal psychic is different compared to being human. Okay? What I tell people is whenever you hold on to an animal, I'm sure you know, when you're holding on to an animal, I'm sure you have these feelings that come forward regarding how the animal's feeling, right? That's the intuition coming from the animal. Now, they can't speak for themselves, but their memories or their thoughts will come through how they're feeling, places they've been, what they remember. Could be over a blanket that they once had, they loved, and was taken away from them, or a ball they once had, they can't find it anymore. But they'll always have something that connects itself to it. Your life is going to change when you decide to get into working with animals as an animal psychic or animal communicator. There are very few of us that can do that. So If you're interested, I'd seriously look at the idea. Okay? Now, the reason why this young man's following you is because he's helping you. I don't know why I showed the car accident, but I guess he just wanted to let you know this. The reason why he wants to help you is because he's giving you guidance with the spirit world. His name is Robbie or Robert. Bobby? No, it's Robert. I think you're correcting me, Robert. He's around you. Now, for some reason, either you have a sister that's still living, okay? You have a sister? Okay. She may know who Robbie is that died in car accident. Okay, so just mention to her if she knows him. And probably she'll say, oh, yes, I know that's who it is. Now, because sometimes people become messengers. And so this is for you. You pass it on to her. But he's there for a reason. Sometimes things don't make any sense, but they come up for a reason and for a purpose. Okay? Okay. She knows. You're going through a lot of change right now. You're almost like I want to go to your mom, okay, and your grandmother. Now, for some reason, the way I'm seeing them, it's like you've been trying to please them for so long, and you can never please anybody as far as family is concerned. You try your darndest to prove yourself or prove to them that you can always be successful. You have always been successful. And you need to still trust your intuition more. And you know that. Right? The thing is that what you see as far as your business is concerned, there's a second one that's starting. And you talked about starting that second business. Have you?
It just came a couple days ago.
Okay. So the thing is that now the thing that's on your mind right now is, will it last? Yes, it will. That's the reason why you're here. It will last you a long, long time. It's more like we call it a retirement business. It's something that's going to get you to the next step, right? But you have to trust your intuition more because you're beginning to think that you know, how long is this going to last? And for some reason, I don't know what society sometimes always teaches us some foolish things, or family that teaches us foolish things. Not always foolish stuff, but some people always have fear of how long the business is going to last. You know, how long is this going to last me? Just keep on going, because there's always people that are going to become part of your life that get you to the next place. And you've already lasted this long, you'll always do well next time. Okay. Your grandmother is really pushing to make sure that you succeed. But she says you have to have fun with this one now. Try not to make it just as work. You're supposed to have fun with it. Okay. I think he's giving her a nod. Okay. Okay. Good. There you go. Somebody's yelling Stephen at me. Who's this? You're Stephen? Yeah. Okay. So your dad is passed? No. Your dad's still here? Yeah. Why am I getting the yelling dad?
Good question.
No. Hang on. Stephen's on your side? Your husband's side. Is your husband or your dad?
Stephen.
Okay, hang on a second. This is how I separate it. This is how we learn to listen. Okay, hang on. I'm getting a female yelling Stephen. And she's passed.
Yeah.
Is that your mom?
No.
Who is that?
Grandmother on mom's side.
Okay. Your mom's still here, isn't she? Okay, that's right. Okay. Now, the only thing I can think of is if it's knowingly it's her, your dad dealing with his health. relationship with him?
Wouldn't surprise me.
Okay. Now, when was the last time you talked to your dad?
Christmas.
He's not entirely telling you his health.
No.
Okay, like he's just this person denies everything's in the wrong thing.
That's true.
But yet, when I look at your father, I don't see him with anybody else but by himself. He acts as if he's always independent. Like there's nobody there giving him a nudge or push. He's by himself. I'm seeing him. Like your mom's with him, isn't he?
Oh, God.
Yeah. So your dad's acting as though he can do things on his own without her needing to help him.
Yeah, that would be us.
Okay. Now your father is. They're making me go to your father's garage. Something to do with the garage, inside the garage. Observing inside there. And he keeps looking at, your father's looking at albums. He shows me pictures. So he's reminiscing now. Okay. Now, are the albums in the garage or what's going on there?
No, anything like that is inside the house.
Okay. So they show me the garage. I'm going into the house. If I'm in the garage, I want to make my go in the garage. But it shows me albums. Your dad's starting to reminisce now.
Could be stuff in the shop.
Okay, but he's also, no, this is books. This is all different photos. But he's also bringing up a male, either a brother that's crossed over, but it shows me that he's missing him. Like it's an old friend or something, or it's like a brother.
There's a pair.
Okay.
John.
Your dad, your
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Your dad's brother's passed.
His two oldest brothers. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a third that's
The one was named Dan or Don?
that's not it.
Your dad's Dan.
Dawn.
Don. Okay. I think what it is your father's dealing with is he's just reminiscing.
Mm-hmm.
He's going through how long you've been gone. I strongly feel that your uncles are there in the house visiting him. Your dad, it's either your mom, somebody's talked about something's gone missing in the house. He kept talking about things are missing, moving around, missing, and they're blaming your dad. Your mom's blaming your dad for it.
That could be the other way around.
Yeah, but it shows me things missing. It's almost like you place something down and the next thing you know it's not there.
Yeah.
Your parents have to understand it's not them. There's somebody in the house that's moving things around that's purposely done. So it's not your parents that are making mistakes by hiding things. Your dad's not doing it, nor your mom.
Right.
Okay. Now, I'm being shown coin dropped on the floor. And that means that somebody's been taking coin up off the floor or a coin in the windows. That shows me that there's, people used to always say pennies from heaven.
Right.
So whenever a spirit comes through to give you a coin, your dad's been finding them or your mom's been finding them. She may not have told him,
Right.
but she thinks the dad dropped the coin in his pockets. You know what I mean? And he hasn't. These coins have been moved. These places are just dropped in for a reason. I think your dad's house is haunted right now. They're coming to pay him a visit. And most of the time when they really do that, if they come pay him a visit a lot, that means it's relating to his health. Your dad has to, if he hasn't had a checkup, I think he needs to, just have a
It
checkup.
wouldn't be shocking. Okay.
Yeah, just for the heck of it. Just say, Dad, when's the last time you got a checkup? Like that. Because when the family starts counting around, they're making darn sure that you need to know this.
Yeah.
And if I start seeing, and these albums mean that the family's coming in,
Okay.
and your dad's not time for your dad to leave yet.
No.
But they were saying, if you don't do something about your health, you may be leaving sooner.
Right.
So they're making sure that they want him here longer, like another 20 years.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're getting him in the car, by the way.
Interesting.
Yeah, you're getting in the car. The one that you drive is kind of a beater as far as I'm told.
Rufus, the junkyard dog.
Yeah. Okay. It's the junkyard. Yeah. If you keep putting it off, I'll get that car.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, but like, it's not getting a new one. Not used secondhand, like you get the new one.
I've been looking at a new one. I'm too thrifty. Well, I'm looking at some newer, but it's still older.
Well, let's put it this way: if you don't get something new, get yourself like an antique.
Yeah.
It'll last you, 1950s, 60s, something there.
We got a project that's a 72. That's good.
And
Working off as well.
Yeah, working on one. That's an antique. So you can put your historical license on that.
Sure.
Okay. Cool. For you, which person mother?
Tammy.
Tammy. This is kind of cool. I'm actually seeing a guy wearing a knight, being a knight. I'm seeing him wear like castle time period. Like Arthur, and work with the guys around the armor.
Right.
I'm seeing him right behind you. Like he's walking, I can hear the clanging, clang, clang, clang of wearing armor. That means that you're making a trip. You're going to either England or you're going to Scotland. Does that make any sense at all?
I've heard it before, yeah.
But you're not going.
I don't know how to get there, but sure.
The purpose of, I think most people probably haven't told you the reason why they're coming in. It relates to your ancestry. And it's something that you've been curious about your ancestors. Your family, are they from here? Are they from here? You know what I mean? And then there's some people are actually saying, is there royalty in my family? No, that sort of thing. Right? And you're still playing with the family tree. And your grandmother is wanting me to tell you, and the month of December is important for her. So I'm not sure if it's Christmas, but she brings up the month of December a specific time. So I'm seeing cranberries. Like I can see berries, cranberries. So it could be, cranberries are cool. They're good to have. They're like a medicine too. But in that family, your family tree is still trying to show that there's the only thing that you have not found yet is the fleur-de-lis. It's like not just fleur-de-lis, it's more like the design of the item that's on top of the helmet of the knight. And also, you haven't even got your family crest yet. And it's like your grandmother is saying that this is going to help you understand your family upbringing more. If you actually have a crest in home. So I'm not sure that makes any sense, but somebody's talking about it. They brought it up in the conversation. But Scotland is prominent. Absolutely prominent. Something that relates to this. Okay. And once you get there, you're going to have one major awakening. I mean, seriously, you're going to cry. You're going to find your old spirit calling you. It's hope you understand what I'm talking about. Because I'm seeing a gravesite, I'm seeing a name of this person that's passed, this female, but for some reason, like Rebecca, so to speak, like her name's on the tombstone, but it relates to you. Now, she could either be you, or she could have been her, or an ancestor is trying to make contact with you, and you have not been paying attention to the tombstone or to her. And she uses the name Rebecca. Like, not Becky. Becky's Americanized, but Rebecca. And in some way, it's a slang that could be either Scotland or Ireland, one of the two. But it shows me Rebecca. So I think you may know what Rebecca means.
At one point, exactly.
So what does Rebecca mean?
Top of my mind.
Okay. It says on top of his head. I had a client that I read 15, 16 years ago. And I told her what I see her doing in her life in general. She wrote me after 15 years in an email. She said, Derrick, I don't know how you knew all this stuff. She says, I thought you were crazy. And she says, everything you told me was going to happen happened. So I just read, I tell you, and that's it. From there on, I have no idea what happens. If anybody comes up to me after end of the night and say, oh, you told me this and told me that, or the next day they tell me you told me this, I have no memory of it. Because it comes out, what I see in the vision, that's how they show me, and that's it. Because I'm not responsible for what happens after. What my job is to help show you what you can do to go further with your life. Okay? Right? So, I'd like to comment.
No, that was what I said at the very beginning. You will not remember
Yep.
of every note. I mean, if he ever remembered every message he ever gave, he'd be in the media. Because he's given thousands and thousands of messages. I know that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Between the three right here. Which person there?
Dory.
Dory. I want to say this too. There's actually okay, how many got here? I'm actually in your mom's house. I'm remotely in your mom's house here. I have a boy who's passed. You didn't lose a son, did you?
Pardon?
You didn't lose a son. No. There's a boy here that's crossed over, so I'm not sure how he's connected between 1 to 3. There's a boy that's passed. He's adamantly wanting to make contact with 1 to 3. Okay. How are you connected to the house? Did your mom lose a child, a son? That's the boy. Okay. Your brother is here. But he sees himself as a boy, a little child, not an adult. That's how he feels comfortable where he's at. Okay, he's about 12, 14 years of age. So I'm not sure how old he was when he crossed over. But that's how he's comfortable where he's at. Your brother tells me, so now he's playing around up and down here. He's like adult kid. He's wanting to tell you that he's been visiting your mom a lot, or had been visiting your mom a lot, and to comfort her. Now, did your mom pass, or is she still here? Okay. Did your mom ever, do you remember being around your mom where she told you that she saw your brother before she passed away? Do you remember that?
She's talked about
Yeah.
her son.
Okay. She's bringing it up. Your mom is bringing it up, saying that she's so happy that she met him. He was the first boy, or first child that she met when she crossed over. It wasn't dad, it was your brother. Okay, that's who she saw first when she crossed over. Because your mom felt like she had to make amends of her whatever guilt that she dealt with in the past. when she was alive, it's like he was there specifically saying, Mom, I'm here, I'm okay. And that helped her bring her emotions to a calm. And he's saying to tell you that it's nobody's fault of his passing. You're supposed to know this. It's nobody's fault of his passing. Because that's the question everybody's had. And you need to know that. He says he's comfortable where he's at. Your mom, now your mom's getting that good. Okay. Your mom's got her hand on her hips like this. And she says, look at me now. I'm 30 years old. Your mom's back in being young again. And she's got a nice looking dress. She's dancing. She goes, I'm dancing again. Because she kept talking about her leg that it wasn't working very well. She's dancing again. So she's not feeling everything that stopped her doing what she was living. So she's happy. I'm seeing your dad and your mom in a portrait. And was your dad in the military?
He was in the militia
Okay, militia.
for a bit.
Okay. Because he shows me being in uniform.
That's many years.
Okay. So you're the daughter? Her? Good friends? Their mom? Because she also, her mom wants to say hi to you. She feels important. She wants to give you a hug, is what it is. You have to know that. It's like, she's the coolest in the world.
Can I tell you something? You did two things. 12 is an important day. And the young son, okay, he wasn't young when he passed away. But there's another son who said her son when she moved over. So the 12 is the second son. The first one that she said she met was over 22. So you're getting the two mixed up.
When they come through, sometimes they try to rush themselves to make the contact with you. And I try to do my best to listen to them. So when I see them, sometimes they look like as if they're a bit of a blur. And then I see pieces of it. And doing the performance here, doing the platform here, it's like I'm rushing myself to say, okay, come on guys, hurry up, give me something.
But you're correct about the 12.
Yeah.
And about acting now. Because he was acting. He was young for his age.
Yeah. In the spirit world, that's where he feels that's where he's most comfortable at. Because living in the physical world, he just wasn't comfortable with himself. Like he feels that his most fondest memory is being young. So that was his fun time. It was like everyone has a favorite part of their life. Some people like to be older, live older. Some people like to be younger, and that's where he's at. Yeah, because he's he is going with you when you take your trips, your long trips. He's going to go with you, enjoy, and keeping an eye on you. He says he wants to be the passenger or the navigator in the car. This is cool. It's either you or you. You in the green. What's your first name, in the green?
Yvonne. Yvonne.
Yvonne? Okay. And you're in the back of the green?
Taylor.
Taylor?
Yes.
And you're in the red?
Paula.
Paula. Okay. One of you three has a strong attraction to leopards.
To what?
Leopards.
What's
Cats. Wildcats. Leopards.
a wolf?
No, not wolves. Leopards. Because the leopard actually is significant in front of you right now when you're through. It's actually sits there and it's purring as I'm just watching him. But he's in front of you when you're through.
I have a cat, but it's alive.
Mine too. It wants to be.
Okay. Which one of you three talked about getting a tattoo?
But thinking about getting one.
But was it a cat? Like a leopard, panther?
No.
Okay, it was not that one. Somebody talked about getting a panther, leopard on tattoo. I'm seeing it, and they're telling me when you actually talked about it.
When?
I have to admit it if it's true.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing it go, I can hear it.
Well, yeah, I wanted to do, but no exactly that.
Was it supposed to be a panther?
Like, kind of, but it's not the same, yeah.
That's fine. Leopard, panther, that's something. It's you I'm coming to.
I know, but I didn't know it yet, like.
That's okay. What happens is I get symbolisms of animals or people that stand in front of me. Most times it's always people, but if it's an animal, this is a very large cat. It's a wild cat, but I mean, black panther, leopard. To me, it looked like a spotted leopard, but it looks like a panther because it's dark as well. But I'm seeing that in front of you. Okay. Here's what's happening, because when they're talking about you getting a tattoo of it before, it's still connected, that animal is still connected with you more than the wolf right now. And I'll tell you why. Because what you're doing right now is you're exploring a journey of learning how to deal with your awakening that relates to talking to people that are in spirit. And you're exploring it still. And you're kind of, how to say it? Please understand, you cannot use your accent the way you, where are you from?
Mexico.
Mexico. Try not to use your accent as a problem. It's not. Because the panther is from Mexico. Okay? And it follows you. Its spirit follows you all the time because your past life was with a panther. The panther was your pet. The wolf is connected to you not from Mexico, it's connected to you here because you're in Canada. But the panther has been with you, that's your main animal, it's been with you all the time. Now the reason I'm saying this is because you both are grandfathers. Your main grandfather was a healer. Okay? And he transforms from the panther to your grandfather. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay? So, he's letting you know that he comes to see you in dreams. But he's also letting you know that he's with you by your side all the time. You have a tendency of, like I said, you keep on like, no, it's too fast. Stop worrying about it coming to you. Just slow down and just pay attention. Let them talk to you. Because there's so many people that are in spirit that want to talk to you. You have a fabulous indigenous background. And you should trust it more. Because when you're a life giver, when a woman's known as a life giver, when you're a life giver, you have more senses. I'm not talking about the word to make sense. Your senses are more sensitive than the men. So because you are a life giver, you carry a child, right? You can feel when a child is in danger, your own child, after he or she is born. You can tell there's something going wrong. Your senses are activated. You know, like anybody says spider sense is tingling. Well, that's what it is, because mom could be standing at the sink and she's doing dishes, all of a sudden like, oh, my kid's in trouble. Well, why do you think that? So the next thing you know, you get a phone call, yeah, he's in trouble. You just know. right? And she trusts that intuition because she knows. So you're going through the same thing. Your senses have actually raised higher now, and it's going to go. And you need to trust the panther all the time. Your grandfather plays that role. He's letting you know he's there. So you have a very significant skill, and you should trust it more often. Okay. Make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. Thank you.
Trust me, when I see things, some people always ask, are Indigenous people more sensitive to the spirit world than non-Native people? Very much so. And I'll tell you why. Through my research, Indigenous people never followed a specific religion. We were people that are grounded. We give thanks to everything we have in our life. We were centered into the earth. We had our ceremonies. We danced. We celebrated. Whether it's a sweat lodge, star lodge, sun dance, any other type of ceremony, longhouses, any type of ceremonies we practiced because we believe that it's sacred to us, but also to give thanks to our ancestors. Now, Europeans did the same thing. The Druids, they were the grounded people like everyone else. The Druidism, and my good friend here, Johnny, knows, Druids were highly intelligent, grounded people like the Indigenous people because they believed in the sacredness of the earth. The sun, the moon, the stars, the water, everything. But we all here tend to forget that we have some Indigenous background ourselves. We have ancestors that were part of all of this. Right? So when we practice a gift that we have, or given, and some people say it's a gift given to you, or it's a gift that you practice. Well, everyone has a way of feeling connected to spirit. I didn't ask for this when I was born with it. Okay, being an 8-year-old kid in a haunted house, I didn't ask for it. I didn't know what to do with it. I thought it was cool. I'm talking to dead people. What do you do with it? Nobody came up to me and said, I'm going to train you. I'm not Obi-Wan Kenobi. Go to the forest, wherever the forest, whatever. Anyways, I grew up and I learned to deal with what I had to learn how to use my skill. But I learned by meeting people through the years. You met people through your family ancestry, and they showed you what you have to learn. Okay? When you got here, you're learning more. But it's not the same as Mexico. But it's okay to take a bit of this, a bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Those are all your teachers. You combine them all together, and that makes you who you are. Right?
Yeah.
When she learned from me what I taught her, she learned from me what I taught her. Okay? I got more students coming in this January, February. I got more classes I'm teaching. Psychic mediumship, we're developing workshops. I'm doing another 8-week course. And I'm training a whole new group. I got RCMP officers coming in on one floor. Okay, because they themselves, these are homicide detectives that feel sensitive when they're reaching down to work with a person who's passed away. They don't know how to handle the feelings after. So now I have homicide detectives coming to me for training so they can learn how to deal with the dead. Because that person's left their body, the spirit's next to the body, where do we go from here? Right? So it's important that we all have to work with everyone, not to be afraid of the person's body that's passed away. It's still lived on this earth. The important part is having to help them cross over if they're stuck. If they feel they can't, or if they don't have a finish yet, then they got 3 days to do their life review before they cross over to the light. And they'll hang around for a little bit. They're not stuck here. They have to go through a life review like everybody else. They have to understand all the good things and bad things they've done to everybody. They'll experience all that and some. But the cool part is, when I'm finished working with you guys, those who are actually learning and getting the training, how you use your skill is up to you, whether you use it as a profession or personal. But when you do use it, you'll know what to do after that 8 weeks. Sometimes people say, well, we're going to training, and you will spend weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, months. Some people came to churches and taken skills for 5, 10 years, and sometimes they think that they're not skilled enough. They can be. But what the problem is, we have too many teachers that are trying to hold back too much for them. I've heard some people move faster, some people move slower. And I've seen some really cool, good students that should be out there already 6 weeks ago, not having to do readings or healing work or mediumship. Right? Then there's others that will take a little longer. That's fine. Everyone has a skill. We all work day to day. That's a daily part of our life. So when we learn how to use this, you will be using this quite long. What do you do for work?
It's a good question. I've done a lot of different things, but currently I work for a financial institution.
Okay.
And, yeah.
That's just financial institution, but that's not your work. That's just to get a job.
Yeah, that's a job.
Okay. The work that you'll be doing down the road is what people are doing on intuitive stuff you're doing. I would seriously look at the idea of see if you can help missing people. Look at the photograph, examine the photograph, examine it, get a map, get yourself a tool, and see if you can make contact with spirit. Just for practice. Because I'm seeing you as a communicator. You're actually water. I mentioned earlier, you looking at the water scrying. Okay? Maybe you need to look at the bowl, get water, do a prayer, scry. Don't cry, scry. So the water, it helps you get a vision. Okay? It's one of the most rarest forms of being of sight. Nostradamus used to do that years ago. So women now are starting to do scrying. So, but you have a strong connection to the water. Now, yeah. You're still thinking that you're at a standstill, like you're not going any further than where you are now. But you are doing right now, what I'm seeing you doing is actually you're holding yourself back from being here. Okay, which you should be more here. Okay, so then I would recommend it to look at the idea of training yourself to become a water spire. And what you do is get a map. What I do this a lot for the police. They'll send me pictures of missing people, or I go on site. They'll take me to a location to help find the bodies that are buried. And I have a little tool that I take with me. He was with me when it happened. And we went to a place that there's 3 Chinese men that went missing 150 years ago. And Mike was witness to watching me use my tool. And we went around and they said, you'll find them right over here. And the guys went, are you sure? I said, right there. So about a month later, I called back and confirmed that they found the bodies exactly where one goes. 150 years later. So if I can do it, you can do it. Yes.
So by tool you mean like whether it's a pendulum or something, like something.
That's what you're using.
Okay.
Anyone.
Can I share something else that's interesting about the water? As you were speaking, I realized, well, my grandmother, she drowned. That's how she died. She had knows, but she drowned. And earlier when we were speaking to her and asked who's Mary, it's my mother, who was actually also born in Hungary. It's from my grandmother.
Wow.
So I was
That's the connection. And your mother wants you to use the water to make contact. Okay. fine. And the cool part is you get to see her in the water. Not drowned. You get to see her face. And it's the most enjoyable, joyful thing that happens for you.
So hard because she hit the water.
I know. Yeah, but she learned to love it. You know, like my mom was afraid of water. She thought she was going to drown.
Yeah.
And yet, I was the only kid in the family who knew how to swim. I drowned at the age of 8 in Red Jacket in Saskatchewan. It was a man-made lake. I jumped off just in a 2x12 plank with a bunch of boys, and I thought it was just shallow water. Boom, 9 feet down. Next thing you know, there's our CMP officer, which I didn't know was a cop first, the guy wearing a red uniform, the whole time period back in 1800 red uniform, bring me to the surface and brought me to the surface right from the bottom up. And next thing you know, a boy grabbed me, brought me to shore. The officer never showed up. Never came to shore to see how I was doing. His ghost saved my life.
So is that when you first started saying?
Can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
You need to butt in. I'm from Hungary. I ran here. Be terrified of the water, and I almost drowned. I drowned when I was 3 with my father. Excuse me. So,
You 3 ladies need to make a connection. She's from Hungary. We didn't talk. See what happens? It comes in a full circle, and as we were talking about earlier, things can come in full circle. We don't know why, but people are making a connection for a reason. And water has a significance. And people, sometimes people have a fear of water. And some people will drown in water. But the thing is that what I learned to do from that being 8, I was determined to learn how to swim. And being a kid back in the 1960s, there's no teachers to teach me. So there's a brand new pool that opened up in my neighborhood. And I thought, well, I'm going to go down there and get a job. And when I go get a job, I want them to teach me. I don't want the money, and I get them to teach me how to swim. So I had a lifeguard that worked there. Didn't have to do cleaning up. I did cleaning up, and he taught me how to swim. That was exchange. So he taught me how to swim, but he taught me how to deep sea dive with no snorkel. And I learned how to hold my breath for 3 minutes. Practice. I used to scare my mom. Because I go in the water and it wouldn't come up, and mom panicked. And next thing you know, she just, don't do that to me, you're freaking me out. But that's what happens. But see, the thing is, we learn to overcome our fear for our family. And learning how to swim. So if you fear water, learn to overcome it by taking the course, learn how to swim.
I know how to swim, and that's exactly what happened to me too. I was bound and determined to learn to swim. I don't like to swim, but I can't.
Yeah. Well, I'll swim. I'm not afraid of swimming. I don't care. I'll just go in that water. For some reason, I love being in the water. I don't want to come out. It's like my mom says, I'm like an alligator in the water. You drop me in there, I don't want to come out. And I'll have wrinkled fingers. The typical, but you just enjoy it so much. You take me anywhere near water, I'm like that kid, you can't keep me out of it. I'm enjoying it too much. So, I hope you guys had a great night. I'm sorry I didn't reach everybody. Thank you guys for welcoming me, and
Thank you.